5:15 in the morning, in the AM. So I'm just getting up and I want to chat with you guys some more about narcissism. So my name is Cheryl Grabowski. Welcome to my channel. If you would do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll know every time I'm getting ready to upload a video, okay? And then come on in and listen to me talk about this narcissistic thing, this narcissism. So I hope y'all had a good night's rest, and I hope that today is a very successful day for you. Today is actually Sunday, and actually I gotta work just a little bit around noon. But y'all, this thing about narcissism is it's really helpful. The information is really helpful for you if you're dealing with this type of person. Now, I can remember while in a relationship with a narcissist, for sure, I don't even need the person to be diagnosed. I know for sure that they're a narcissist because I spent so many years with this person. And when I told y'all that they were rotten to the core, I really mean that. I have so many accounts, guys, of how narcissism, what it looks like. You remember I said in the other video that narcissists, as far as their emotional intelligence, is critically low. Because, you know, they measure your intelligence in more than one way. Our intelligence is measured in more than one area. That's what I meant to say. So their emotional intelligence is that of a kid, and they are very childlike in a certain type of way. And this includes the grandiose narcissist and the covert one. For both. For the grandiose type narcissist and the shy one, they both can be very childlike. I remember years ago, there was an event that me and my first husband went to, along with some people that we carried with us. And my mother was there. And so there also was this elderly man that was with us. And so after the event, because my mother needed, she was like, oh, I'm so hungry. Do you have anything, some gum or candy? She said to me. And so I said to her, yes. So I went in the bag and found this little, something like a juicy fruit. And my husband was there. The older gentleman was there. We were standing outside the van. Of course, me and then my mom. And she asked me for the candy. And so I handed her the candy. And then my husband said, well, I want a piece. And I said, well, I don't have any more. And he made the biggest, right in front of the elder. The elder was there as well. Because actually we were at something like a Christian convention. And the elder was there too. And my husband, he done got agitated. Ooh. And really like threw a tantrum. My mother said later on, she said, excuse me guys. She said, I wish I could have regurgitated that candy and gave it back to him because he acts so horrible about the candy. And then she said to me, she said, what in the world did he think the elder man, who was a new guy in our circle, he and my husband had befriended each other, and this was his first time being around us. And because of my husband and his narcissistic, childlike, controlling, lack of emotional intelligence self, threw a whole tantrum in front of me, his wife, my mother, and the elder. And thought he was right until my mother apologized for eating the candy. Have y'all ever been around a person like that? grown, but they are a child. I mean, oh, some, like I said, narcissists don't change. So that very childlike emotional deficiency that they have. And like I said before, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a life coach, not yet. I'm not any of those things, okay? My name is Cheryl Grabowski. I'm a hairstylist by trade. I have many experiences that I've had in life. I've lived a lot of life, and especially what's been brought to my attention nowadays within the last year is that this personality disorder that I've been dealing with in others all my life is called narcissism. And I'm here on YouTube to talk about it and to share with you what I've been through and to help and inform you about this, because maybe you've been going through it. Maybe you know somebody, maybe you've been going through it all your life and you didn't know what it was. The thing about narcissism, guys, that because it being a personality disorder, and because it's so hard to acclimate to these people, it'll cause you to feel like you're walking on eggshells. It can cause you to have a nervous breakdown. It can cause a lot of things. It can cause you to lose yourself. It'll cause you, in losing yourself, you won't focus on the things that you like to do, or the things that we all have been gifted with certain gifts and stuff. And it'll cause you to lose your passion because you're so wrapped up in this narcissist, because they're greedy for your validation. Yes, they are so greedy for you to validate them. They need tons of support, emotional support. They're like emotional vampires. They're just pulling and pulling and pulling on you because they cannot regulate their own emotions. So they pull on you for emotional fulfillment, whether positive or negative. Like, it don't matter. They could be lovey-dovey or they could be fighting you. It don't matter. They just need the energy. They need it. They need it. Oh my goodness. They need it, guys. They need it. When you're thinking about an emotional vampire, now y'all know, according to all the movies that we've watched about vampires, I know I've watched plenty. I used to love vampire movies when I was a young lady. They have to have that blood. But you know what? Now, in modern days, we have the sophisticated vampires. What's the name of that family? I can't think of the name of them, but they're sophisticated vampires. Like, they have jobs, and whoever created that show, what a magnificent thinker, because it's amazing. So they have careers just like the narcissists in your life or in our world. They have jobs. They can be doctors, they could be lawyers, they could be publishers, they can be authors, just because these people are sophisticated. They live in a really beautiful home, and they could be as nasty as all of the vampires back in the day, but they're not. They're, they've tamed that creature, that thing that's inside of them for the need for blood. And what they do is they drink animal blood instead. And I think one of them is a doctor, so they can get actually human blood from the hospital. And I'm making light of it, but it's kind of humorous. But the narcissists in your life, they come to drain you of your time, your talent, your energy, your money. And if they can love bomb you and get it that way, or if it's a family member or something like that, then both negative and positive energy is all supply for them. It's all food source for them. It feeds them because they need it, because they're vampires. And like I told y'all on the last video, they've put up a false self from childhood, from as early as maybe 7 years old. Because of their childhood trauma, they put up a false self, okay, in their psyche. And the person that we see, the person that we engage with, the person that we've experienced a life with, the person that goes to the school to pick up the kids, the person that shows up at the job, that's the false person. That's the person that they have created and put out there. And they themselves are locked up in their psyche. There are big walls that they put up. Huge, gigantic walls that nobody can get through. There's an element of the person with the narcissistic personality disorder, NPD for short. There's something really sad about it. There's something critically sad about it. And most people in my research and what I've discovered and what I've read, and I've talked to some people that I know that know some things about narcissism, and all of the top folks that took the time to study it and to name this personality disorder, because they've studied the behavior of people, and but they all seem to believe that these people cannot change. And the main reason is because in order for you to change, you've got to be able to self-reflect and see yourself. And because they have a false self, and because they're behind that wall, and because of their childhood trauma, and because they've said that no, I'll never be hurt again for whatever reason, whatever happened to them, they don't have the ability to self-reflect. So if you can't see yourself, then how can you change? So all the people seem to believe that. If you study narcissism. In the last year, guys, I believe, but it's so funny because I look back at my email. I was looking through my email the other day, and there are two women in my email. One is Kim Seed, SEED, Kim, KIM Seed, and that's all she talks about is narcissism and relationships. I know I must have saw an ad on Facebook, and then I read the information, and I was interested in it. And you know how they'll have a questionnaire, and the questionnaire might have been, do you have a narcissist in your life? Fill out this application, and we're gonna show you the traits. And if there are 6, say for instance, there are 10 traits that she has put up, and then identify, oh my God, I see 9 of those traits. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. So I did in the email. So Kim Seed has been in my email for probably, I would say, 1.5 years, maybe 2. So somewhere along the way, about 2 years ago, that subject of narcissism sparked my interest, and then I just kind of let it fade out. And then there's another lady in my email, but when I separated from my husband, and I was so distraught, guys, and that physical pain that I felt, it was a undeniable, deep pain that I felt in my lower belly, and I had been feeling nervous and jittery before that. It's almost like I came down with anxiety, and I've never had anxiety before. You know what I'm saying? But I was dealing with that, and so that intensified in my belly when we broke up. The moment that I found out that our relationship was where it was, and the moment that I found out that the suspicions that I had that were, coming from my intuition was all true, but yet and still I made no moves about it. The moment that I found that out, the feeling that came over me, oh my goodness, the belly ache, the heartache, my chest, my literal heart was aching. And then it was something else. It was three things. Oh, and then it felt like way in the bottom of my stomach that it was hollow and reaching down, 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 down deep, like no stop. Like the pain, it just ran. The pain was just running through me. Right. That I was being impacted by this situation. So anyway, once I felt that, then I think I went to social media. I don't know exactly, was it like the same evening that feeling happened to me, or whether or not it was a week later, but it was really, really soon after I saw a ad about childhood trauma. And I emailed the lady, and I left my number there, and I asked her to please call me, because everything that I had just read in her advertisement was what I was feeling and what I had been going through and what I suspect. So, and that led me here to you guys, because I've had this YouTube for over a year, and I've been wondering about what in the world I'm going to do with this YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I have a full life. I have a full life now. But I had a full life then too. But so I was trying to figure out, to narrow it down to what I want to do. And guys, I got it. I will be over here discussing narcissism and how it affects you. And hopefully you'll be here to listen to the information and to see if you identify with any of the things that I'm describing over here on this channel. Living the life, being around, loving someone with high narcissistic traits is damn near hell. To be quite honest, it's damn near hell, because their personality. Let's talk some more about their condition. I told you what happened to them and why they are like that. Let's talk about some of the things that they suffer with. Like, most of them are pathologically envious and jealous of people. And the reason is being, you got to keep in your mind, this is a child who has experienced trauma. And although they have become an adult, because year after year after year you get older, their emotional intelligence cannot change. They are forever that kid that I talked to y'all about a little bit earlier. Excuse me, guys. They are forever that kid. Forever. And so if you could, I've never, on the channels that I watch and the research that I do, and I have a life coach now who's coaching me now, and she's very much aware and knowledgeable about all these things that I'm talking to you guys about, and so much more. Life coaching is amazing, and I would say to you guys, as you come over here and listen to me and listen to what I'm saying here, think about getting you a coach. It's the best thing ever. But getting back to the narcissist and how I am attempting now to get into their shoes. I'm attempting. I've spent so much time around them, and I've done the research, so let me try to help you. And that's because of my empathic traits. Being able to see if I could, look through, put myself in somebody else's shoes, or maybe look from their angle, their perspective, or see if I could relate to where they are. Even though I can't. Because, like I said, guys, they are rotten to the bone. But just imagine, they are pathologically envious and jealous, because that false self that they have put up is not real. They have little to no emotional intelligence. Little to no. Okay, nowhere near what you should have if you are a healthy adult and you've grown and matured and experienced life in a certain way. You should have a grown, mature level of emotional intelligence, but they do not, and they cannot have it because they are stuck. They're locked up in that child place because of their childhood trauma. However, they are in life. They are dealing with us. We're married to them. We go to school with them. Some of them are our bosses. They're judges. They're lawyers. They're politicians. They're presidents. They're best friends. They're cousins. They're spouses. They're lovers. They're all of those things. Okay? So they're pathologically envious and jealous. Okay? So when somebody is envious and jealous of you, they'll do bad things to you. Yes. And they will try to hurt you on purpose. And depending on what type of narcissist they are, they can have a grandiose way of doing it, like hitting you physically. Or they can have a covert way of doing it, like cheating behind your back. Yeah. Or telling you lies for no reason. Just because they like to lie to you and they get a kick off of lying to you and watching you possibly believe it. And then they laughing at you on the inside because they were like they probably feel like you're stupid. Oh yeah, by the way, they have an exaggerated sense of self, that false self that they put up. And a lot of times, most of the time, narcissists think that they're better than you, whether covert or grandiose. It don't matter. They think they got one up on you. They think they're smarter than you. They think that you're stupid and naive. Yeah. They think that, guys. And a lot of times they think that because they deal with trickery and deceit all the time. Everything is a game to them. Don't forget, I told you they're children. Emotional children. Okay? They think everything is a game. They have fragile egos. Okay? And it's easy to bruise them depending upon whether or not they are grandiose or covert, whether or not they are obvious narcissists, whether you can see narcissism in them across the room, or they're covert, they're shy one, and you might not know it. Either way, they are envious and jealous of you, and they'll hurt you if they can in different ways. They just can't be nice, guys. They can't. Y'all share this this video. They can't be nice because they are pathologically envious and jealous on the inside with fragile egos, and they suffer from low to no emotional intelligence. That's why they cannot have empathy and compassion for you. That is why they suffer with black and white thinking, their way or the highway. That is why they can have bad feelings against you and you not even be aware that they've gotten offended. You might not even be aware that you've hurt their ego on some kind of level about what you said, because you are an adult and you think you're talking to an adult, but you're dealing with a child. Yes. I'll tell you, and I'm getting ready to end this video. It's 24 minutes long. That's pretty lengthy, guys. I'll tell you the truth. It's just something. It's something. And let me tell you about this part of them too. Part of their personality. Hold on, guys, because I got sinus issues. Hold on. They cheat. They can't help it. They can't help it. They cheat. I'm telling you, now all the research that I've done and all the information that I've seen in videos and having conversations with people who's, you know, been in the mental health field for a long time and know about narcissism and all this, and they cannot be monogamous. They can't. They need too much validation and energy and from people, and they get bored quickly. They're children. And because they don't have the ability to self-reflect, you know what I'm saying? They just go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. Because if you wound their fragile ego and you're married to them, and they're a covert narcissist or grandiose, they gonna go find somebody to give them the attention that they like. And y'all know that if you are in a real relationship and you dealing with two people, two grown people, you know, that have different wants and likes and stuff like that, sometimes you're going to get into a tiff. Sometimes you're not going to get along. Sometimes you're going to say something every now and then to offend a person. And sometimes you might even have a good old healthy argument. That's normal. But dealing with a narcissist, they can't deal with that. They going to go flirt with somebody or texting or sexting or go to they going to do a little piece of cheating. So look, guys, if you're out here and you're mingling and you're dating and you're thinking about being in a committed relationship with a person, I'm gonna need y'all to do a little piece of, is this person a narcissist? Because if they are and you're not, you get ready to suffer. You going through. If they are and you're not, especially if you're an empathic person, that you just like, you wake up happy. One time I told y'all it was when I first started this video about 5 something. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. and you know, I have good energy. Most of the time when I wake up, good morning. Even if I have 2 or 3 or 4 things that I'm dealing with, they are tough things that I'm dealing with, you know, serious. Like I never lose sleep. No, I love my sleep. And no matter what I've been through, and I've been through some shit, guys, I love life and I still love people. Right. But narcissistic people, they are rotten to the core. They're mean. They're somewhere between mean as hell and pitiful as hell. Somewhere in between those places. Now, I'm sorry, but I got to say that. Let me say it again. They are somewhere between mean as hell or pitiful as hell. One of the two places. And the thing is, sometimes it make it hard to check them. Make it hard to check them, like if you're in a relationship or a friendship or whatever, because you know that they mean, but then you know if you say something to them, they're fragile and then they look all pitiful, like they hurt so bad. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, I've been in deep thought about bringing this content to you, but I'm going to have to do this because it's just in me to do. To expose or to talk about or to educate you all on these human vampires and these folks that you possibly love that are never going to change. And so I'll come back with some tools or some ways or some things that you could do. Like if you're in a relationship, say for instance, you've had you're married to one, or you've had a kid by one, and you have a 2-year-old child. You got 16 more years to deal with this person. I want to talk about how do you deal with the narcissist, because you have to have A1 boundaries. Like, I mean, you got to be like Fort Knox. Have those kind of boundaries with dealing with them, because they are so toxic to your mental and to your emotional and to your body. Because whatever bothers you mentally and emotionally, it affects your cells, cells, in your body. It affects you to the bone. And for some of y'all, this channel is going to be, it's going to be a beacon of light, because it's going to expose what it is that you're dealing with. And then I'm going to describe and clarify what narcissists are exactly, and tell you also about what it looks like when you're around one and living around one, and then what you need to do to protect yourself and ultimately get away and end some of these relationships that you guys are in, and that might even include work. If your boss is worrying the hell out of you, you might need a new career. But anyway, guys, what I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Okay, guys? And my signature thing that I say at the end of every video, especially on Facebook that I do, but I'm going to start doing it here: kisses and hugs, guys. If nobody told you today that you are an awesome person and that life supports you, then know that I've said it. You are awesome and life supports you today. Kisses and hugs. Have a good day. Bye.